I need to start off with a story about the Barditchiver, and talk about Abbas Yisrael, which everybody knows that he's famous for. And I want to focus it on, I hate to talk about current events, but a little bit it's Negeya and Be'ikav for Shabbos. We know we're coming up to Chodesh Nisan. I spoke already about it earlier, that Chodesh Hazel Lachem Reish Chodashim, that this is specifically for Klal Yisrael. But let me just say over this Maisa quickly. There was a Yid in Barditchiver, and he had an esrik. He was the only one in town who had an esrik, and he was showing off his esrik to everybody. And then he was ready to go home for Yontif. And then when he was coming home for Yontif, so they told him, Rabbi Yid, you're the only one in town who has an esrik. If you leave, nobody in this town is going to have an esrik. So back and forth, they tried to convince him that he should stay for Yontif and that the Olam should use the esrik. He didn't want, after back and forth, he was finally maskim. He said it with one t'nai, that the Barditchiver is going to promise me that in Olam HaEmes, I will have a seat next to him. That he gives me enough schusim from his own, I'll get a seat next to him. Al zeh t'nai, I'm willing to stay here for Sukkos. Fine. So they asked the Barditchiver, and he said fine. So the guy was staying there, so he needed a place to eat Yontif. So nobody, Barditchiver told the people, don't invite him for any Sudas Yontif, nobody should have him. So finally they came, and they said, I said, I don't understand this town. Here I came, I did you guys a tova, I'm here for Yontif, so you could use my little of an esrik, and then nobody wants to give me a meal. So, what's going on? So, afterwards, he said, so the Barditchiver told him that I'm willing, you'll get a meal, I'll get you food, I'll give you everything you want. I'll t'nai. The t'nai is that you have to be mevatel your t'nai with me, to sit next to me in Gan Eden. So, b'les breira, the guy said, okay. So, afterwards, the Barditchiver calls him up and says, I want you should know something. He says, this thing that nobody should give you is not because I want to back out of the deal. The deal's the same deal. But I wanted to know if there's somebody who's willing to be mevater for Sudas Yontiv, in other words, to give up his Olam Haba for his mitzvah of Sudas Yontiv. So now that I see that you were willing to give up your Olam Haba, so I wanted to know the character of the person who's going to be next to me in Gan Eden, which is why I made that same tonight with you. So then everybody was happy. Was statement from them. What I want to say is that you see that everything is b'machshava talya milsa. You know, on Shabbos is hirhurim mutarim, but esek is asur. So dafka esek, dafka a maisa or a dibur is asur on Shabbos, but for a hirhur is mutter. And we know that on Shabbos is the inyan of eineg. What's eineg? Eineg we know is Rashi Tevis, Eden, Nahar, Gan. Right? So what's that? That's coming from the Chachma, it's going to the Bina, and then it's going down to the Malchus. Right? That's the Mahalach Hadvar. So really, what's Eineg Shabbos as we know it? Eineg Shabbos, what are we teach Eineg Shabbos? That first you start off with herring, and then is schnapps, and then is cholent, and then mefres tzachon, and then we go to sleep, and Torah hin, Torah aher. That's Eineg Shabbos. So true Eineg Shabbos comes from one place, and that one place is machshava. Where's machshava? Machshava is only in the Eilam Yisrael like Chachma, Bina, Malchus. Shtickle Raya, I don't know if it's going to be maskim to this. As you know, Shabbos' gematria is 702, and if you take out the 0, which doesn't count anyhow, is 72, is Shem Ab, and that's the highest madrega. You call it Mispar Katan, I don't know if it's really Mispar Katan, it's Mispar Efes maybe. Times 10. Okay. Either way, so you see that Shabbos is Mamish V'Karasal Shabbos Eineg, and the Eineg Shabbos is Kulay B'Moichin. So even though Herhurim Amutarim, but true Eineg Shabbos is to be Mekadesh Shabbos in the Pnimius. When Mekadesh Shabbos in the Pnimius, so then the Pnimius has a tremendous reishim on everything that we do, and then that's the Roshim of a Gan Tzavach that will be able to do it. I want to say it also, B'Negeya, upcoming Bein HaZmanim, that Bein HaZmanim, of course, the Olam goes and does whatever they have to do. But if the Mechaven, for the proper Kavan, is just like on Shabbos, which is, so to speak, an off day from yeshiva or whatever it is, and the main thing you have to do is be Mechaven in that the Hirhurim, that the Machshavah should be Machshavas Tayar, and so to Ben Azmanim, that we go into Ben Azmanim for come out a month, so that it should also be, all Machshavas should be on the same Eifen, that they should be just like Shabbos, V'karasal Shabbos Einig. This is, so to speak, a vacation, just like the Shabbos is a split from the Yemei HaChayil, the Ben Azmanim is like a split from also Yemei HaChayil, but the Machshavas have to be Tahiris. So, just to emphasize that point, and especially as we know that we're coming into Pesach, and Pesach is all, what's the big mila of Pesach over Shar Yomim Tovim? As we know, there's Knisas HaMoichin, Gadlus Rishon, Gadlus Sheni, Gadlus Katnus Rishon, Katnus Sheni. So normally, as you see like a baby, how does Moichin work? It comes in stages. First they turn over, and then they walk, and then they talk, and then they nurse, and then they ben chamish lemikra, and then they get older, and then it's bar mitzvahs, Gadlus Rishon, then it's 20, it's Gadlus Sheni. It goes in stages how much brains a person has. However, on Pesach, which is the Leda of Klal Yisrael, so it should have also gone in stages. At first we should have been in infancy, right? We understood nothing. But everything came in one shot. So that's the Leda of Klal Yisrael happened, that's telling you from the Arizal direct. The old Knisas Moichin and Pesach came in one shot. So therefore the Madrege in Kedusha is so huge that it's coming in one shot, and that's why there's a tremendous chilik between, there's actually a small chilik in the Oisies between Matzah and Chametz, but there's really a huge chilik, because if you're not a clay kibbul for Yena Moichin that it's coming in one shot, then you're not going to be able to get it, right? So therefore, that's the inyan of Harchakos Me'avera, which is the Chametz. I feel the tiniest drop of Chametz we cannot be sovel, right? Issa, Bal Yerah, Bal Yamatza, everything else is Mamish B'Mashu. There's no bittul on Chametz, right? So why is it so stark? Because since we have all the Moichin coming in one shot, so if we're not royal lekach, we won't be able to accept it. Right? It's benisin negalo benisin asidli goyel. If we're not royal lekach, so there'll be people stuck behind, just like we had in Mitzrayim. There were many people stuck behind. There weren't zeicha for the geula. So really, I'm yaitzev because I really spoke on Monday. So this is like off script. And so I just wanted to say that we're going into Ben HaZmanim. So two things: we're looking for more younger light to join. There's shiurim and chavrusas, whatever makes someone happy. We do all the different svarim, not just Kisvei Arizal. People are interested in Kisvei Hagra, on Sefer Yetzira, or on Tikkunei Zoyar, on all these things, so that our shiurim available. On that note, Afreilichem Ben HaZmanim.